What's up, everybody? Welcome to Around the NHL. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about places or teams that I think Rasmus Ristolainen could be traded to. But the Buffalo Sabres defenseman, has been in the rumor mill for quite a long time, and this is a player, looking at it from Buffalo's angle. I decided to make this the first video of many hockey videos in general on this channel. I want to start it off with this kind of juicy, rumor of this player from my favorite team. My team is the Buffalo Sabres, so this is definitely an important topic to me, and it's a player that is obviously a very polarizing player. I think a very, very highly valued player around the league, even though he really shouldn't be. Now, I know there are probably plenty of teams that are looking at Rasmus Ristolainen and thinking, we aren't touching him with a 10-foot pole, right? This is not going to happen. We're not trading for somebody this terrible. And you know what? I don't blame those. But there are a few teams that I think could fall for the trap for that big 6'4", pretty well skating, all-around defenseman. A defenseman that's going to get 45 to 50 points every single year. He's a pretty good skater, but defensively, he's about as bad as they come literally in the entire National Hockey League. Now, one of the teams that's definitely been talked about quite a bit is the Winnipeg Jets, and I second this to the moon. I think Winnipeg is a perfect trade partner. Obviously, losing Ben Sherratt and Tyler Myers in the offseason and really going through a lot of changes, kind of, a little bit of a tinkering phase. We're trying to keep Laine, trying to keep Connor, all these different people, and, they're going to need a little bit of help, I think, defensively. Ristolainen fills a lot of holes for them. He slots in right behind Dustin Byfuglien, and for some reason, and you guys are a Winnipeg Jets fan, maybe you can let me know, for some reason they seem to be wanting to get rid of Nikolai Ehlers. Now, I'm a massive, massive Ehlers fan. I actually have been for quite some time. I believe, from not being, I don't watch every single Winnipeg game out there, but Ehlers, especially his underlying numbers, very, very good player. A player that's going to consistently score 20-plus goals. Obviously, he has not scored in any playoff games, but you know what? That comes. I don't think he's going to go his entire career without ever scoring a playoff goal. And you know what? Buffalo hasn't made the playoffs in, I think, 8 years, so it's about time they make it in general. I don't care if Ehlers hasn't scored in a playoff game. Now, he's a left winger. It doesn't exactly fit in Buffalo's system. It would be a little bit better if he could play right wing, but, if he's able to adapt, able to switch over to that right wing, or they can get some other player already on Buffalo to be a right winger, then this is, I think, a match made in heaven. Their salaries almost completely negate each other. Ristolainen's is 5.4 and Ehlers is $6 million. Ehlers, I think, is just such a phenomenal contract and just a fantastic player. He's the one who I'm definitely shooting for them to get. Do they need to take on Perreault as an addition there to do salary cap things? Sure, they have to do that. Buffalo really needs to shed quite a few contracts off the roster. And actually taking Perreault's contract would put them almost at exactly the salary cap, that the maximum amount they can have, and they still have a couple of restricted free agents to sign. So I don't know if they can. I think that's honestly what's holding it up. I think there's still the arbitration things going on. They still have to sign Jake McCabe, Evan Rodriguez, Linus Ullmark. They have a lot of things they still need to do, and I think they're trying to get rid of Hunwick, Scandella, Sabotka, whoever they can at this moment. I think that's what they're secretly, in the background, trying to do, because I don't know if you can make all of these trades and do all these things with Ristolainen if you're so close to the salary and you are still kind of an unknown of how to get rid of all these players' cap hits. But honestly, Winnipeg makes so much sense to me, and like I said, I really think some teams definitely overvalue Ristolainen. Winnipeg is not the smartest team in the league in terms of really smart minds running them, but they're not among the dumbest. Okay, I think a team maybe like Vancouver, and I'm sorry if I'm picking your favorite teams, but there's definitely Edmonton. There's some very, very bad teams. I know people have always talked about maybe Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I would take that in a second as well. You gotta pry and go after these bad teams, and I think Winnipeg just makes a lot of sense because of Ehlers. They're looking to get rid of him. Ristolainen makes a lot of sense for them. Edmonton makes a lot of sense too, though. They need defensive help. Maybe they overvalue. I don't know how they would. Edmonton is a pretty weak hockey organization in terms of the smart people up top. Maybe they would take the bait on Ristolainen. The last one really is Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was rumored for a very, very long time to be interested in Ristolainen, and I don't see how Tampa Bay is among the dumber teams in the league. I feel like Tampa Bay is a pretty smart team, and would look at the analytics there and look at all, just the negative things that Ristolainen would bring to them, and that would basically be a downgrade to everything that they have, and they'd have to give away a decent piece. They have they have so many young, really good players that Buffalo could really just try and pluck any of them, but then there was was obviously a talk. Maybe Buffalo could take the Ryan Callahan thing. I mean, he's done pretty much. So I don't think, and he's going to go on long-term injured reserve. So I don't know if that affects anything at all. I feel like they're kind of out. To me, it's Winnipeg as number one, and then it's kind of just like you shoot and you try and find a team if Winnipeg can't get it done. At this point, Ristolainen really has no place on Buffalo. I am a Ristolainen fan. I do like him. I've always tried to give him a chance, but it's very hard to overlook all of just the negative he's brought. I mean, he is a good offensive player. He can quarterback your second power play unit. Again, really good skater for his size. He's a very, gritty and mean player to play against. There's a lot of pros, and there's a lot of people that will fall for that and say, he's a top 4, maybe he can still be a top 2, and they'll fall for, the 6'4", good skating, puts up a lot of points every year. People will fall for that, but when it comes to him in his own zone, even when it comes to breakout passes, he's not the best at. And in terms of his own zone and the shots against any metric that you look at analytically, he is an absolute tire fire in terms of his own zone. So for Buffalo, this is an addition by subtraction. Just getting him out of there, putting somebody else in his place, I think immediately makes your team better. And then if he can help you, if he can get a top 6 forward for you, Buffalo looks even scarier because they've really done a lot of great things, I believe. And again, they're my team. I've been following them a little bit more closely than all the other teams, but I think Buffalo's underratedly had a very, very good offseason, adding a lot of scoring depth. Now it's time to kind of finish off that top 6, get one more winger, hope that Middlestat can do it, or, kind of do a center by committee kind of approach and see where they go from there. So guys, let me know in the comments below, where do you think Ristolainen could get traded? What do you think could come back in that trade? Let me know. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel podcast. Now hit that bell icon. And again, this is our Around the NHL series. This is a series that I'm going to be doing way more often on our channel, every other week kind of thing, a couple videos each week. So I'm very, very excited to kick this off. We'll be talking a lot about hockey, a lot about the upcoming season, trade rumors, signings, all sorts of stuff we'll be talking about on this channel. So if you guys are into hockey, please consider staying with us. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.